What is up, Aquarian friends? How are you guys? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. So happy to have you guys with me today. We are going to do your November monthly career, finance, and money spreads. Though really this is going to be the second half of November into the first half of December, roughly. As we know, energy is free-flowing. It's really hard to put a stop and end date on it. So take only what resonates, right? With these general YouTube messages, they are general. Not everything I say will apply to your circumstance or scenario. It is up to you to use your intuition to know which messages are meant for you. Use your own discernment and internal guidance system to pick what is helpful to you, right? And release what is not. You don't need to take on any energy that is not yours or feels foreign to you. I always welcome you guys to come into these messages with an open heart and an open mind. Sometimes messages will resonate for you later down the line in the future, and if they do, that's fantastic. In a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months, if it's your message, take it and run with it. And again, don't feel like you need to force anything to fit if it doesn't sound like your story. So this is going to be for my Aquarian friends or those who associate strongly with Aquarius. Career and finances. Particularly if you have a Jupiter in Aquarius too, that might be important. Money and career. Everything else about this video is going to be in the description box below. That includes the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media and the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram. Check that out if you were interested. If not, I'm happy to have you here on YouTube. Last thing I'll say, guys, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. Like, I'm so close. So if you can hit that subscribe button, if you feel like you were able to do that and want to do that, I would appreciate that. It would help me a lot trying to get this channel up and running and these messages out to those who want to hear them. So I'm just going to go with this one. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. I love that. I love that for you, Aquarius. And isn't that the truth, right? You guys tend to be straight shooters. That's what I admire about Aquarians. So, all right, we'll keep that in mind as we hop in through your reading. Your intuition is going to be key in this reading with that giant moon, I can tell. All right, so career, finances, money. Let's see where you are at. All right, so Judgment is coming through. Libra had this too in the exact same spot. So if Libra means something to you, you may check out that video. All right, so before we close out a cycle, right, the World card, the last card in the major arcana of a huge journey you've been going through, probably a spiritual one, right, but maybe in terms of your career, there's one thing that needs a closer look or to take your attention closer in. Judgment is about tying up the loose ends before we can close out a cycle. So typically the depiction is, rising up the dead, right? Archangel Gabriel blows his horn or his trumpet, whatever it is. It awakes the dead so that we can make peace with it, so that we're no longer carrying around past baggage, mental baggage, emotional baggage, resentment, feelings of a broken heart, or it just incompletion, right? It's like tying up those loose ends in a cute little bow, sending them off into the world and moving on. So something needs your examination again. Something needs a closer look. Something is commanding your attention. And it's like you're not looking in the right spot or you're not looking in the right area. Something is trying to get your attention. Oh, and you might be resisting it. It's something that you've already decided it's not worth your attention, but like this person is not backing down. So I don't know what that would be in the career field, but I'm going to clarify it here. Oh, Four of Wands. All right. So I actually do like this. Something about, I heard a wolf in sheep's clothing, but it's actually the reverse of that. It's a person who maybe you guys have been through some sort of like collaboration together and it got kind of muckied and just there's like unsettled feelings there. I do think it's with a person because ultimately you got the soulmate card coming up. So whether it's romantic or not, it could be business partnership. It's something like you view them in sort of a negative light, like something about like their darker energy kind of took over and yeah, maybe they did things and you just didn't agree with them, or again, you felt slighted, or there was something was like wedged between the friendship or the relationship. But ultimately, it's like you guys were destined to go down this path together and meet up, and maybe the idea of like building a city, like erecting a structure, some sort. And again, that could be like a sexual metaphor. If maybe this is a romantic reading for you, take it and run with it, whatever. But yeah, something about this was your soulmate on a certain level. And if nothing else, if we don't view this as the soulmate card, it's a solid foundation, like the four corners of a house, right? It's steady. There's huge room for growth and potential here. But it's like you've already brushed this person off. You're not giving them the time of day. You're not giving it a second thought. And like Judgment's coming around to be like, no, Aquarius, like we need to give this person a second thought. This person may have very dark hair or dark features. But yeah, I'm just sort of getting this relationship is worth saving or worth repairing, because at one point in time you cared a tremendous amount about them and there was something mutually beneficial or equal, right? Again, 4, it's a very equal and balanced number. Huge room for growth and opportunity, but it's almost like you cut it off at the head before it had a chance to blossom and grow even more. Okay. And if it wasn't a matter of upset feelings or, people feeling slighted, it could have been that there was a move of location. Somebody moved to this city, somebody moved to that city. There could have been a severing of the tie, not because you wanted it to be, but wands can be travel as well. So yeah, there could have been some sort of severing that was sort of out of your control, Aquarius. Maybe this person got married and they were otherwise preoccupied. Maybe they had a child and they couldn't contribute the same way to your business partnership that they did in the past. Something like it broke off this really strong bond, this strong connection. And again, Judgment is coming up to have you re-examine, why did it break apart? And ultimately, is it fixable? This person, if this is resonating with you, this person wants your attention. They want to make that connection or forge that connection together, to repair it, to fix it, to go into business together, to, be each other's client or vendor, however this lands for you. But sorry guys. It feels like you are being very strong-willed and a bit big, sort of ego. And again, no shade, Aquarius, right? You guys know I love you. My Aquarians are my soul tribe. I love the Aquarians. But there is something about this where you are firm in your convictions. Your truth is the truth. And for some of you who do feel slighted, you don't see this as an open doorway. It's like the door has been shut. You've moved on. It's like, you've put boards over the windows and hammered them shut. Judgment is coming up for a reason. There's something about this that needs to be like pulled up from the grave, up from the dead. I mean, metaphorically, that's always how Judgment is depicted here. It's got this cool like Egyptian vibe to it too. I love it. Something about creativity and cats. I don't know what that would be, guys, but ancient Egypt, right? The Sphinx, the cat, those were very powerful beings. Did you guys like have a cat together? Is that like that was like your child and you had to have like cat custody? I don't know. Okay, I'm kind of joking, but that might mean something to someone. I don't know. Something about that is important. Let's move on and see what else we can get on this. But ultimately, what is your challenge or focus in the coming weeks or months? The 9 of Fire. So a lot of repeat cards with my air signs. Gemini had this as well. So your challenge or focus, this is like the you shall not pass card. It's someone being defensive. It's the wounded warrior, right? I want to say this might be you, Aquarius. Now feel free to swap the roles around, right? Maybe I'm speaking directly to the cross watchers or whatever, but somewhere in the scenario, Aquarius plays a very key role. So again, take what resonates and be open to these messages. But if it's not your story, it's not yours. Someone is being defensive. Someone is not wanting to let something pass. But what I'm getting from this is that it's innocent. It's your defenses are up with this person. And I'm not saying they're in the clear. Obviously, if you feel this way, something about it is just to you. Something about it is, you're in the right. But you're looking at this person almost as like this scary beast or this monster or, someone who just destroyed your friendship or destroyed the business. They seem kind of non-threatening. That's the best way I can describe it. They're meek. They maybe didn't know the severity of the damage they did. And I am getting like they're crawling back to you because they want the friendship back. They want to please Aquarius. They want to make it up to you in some capacity. But yeah, I don't know if you're open to negotiations. I don't know if this could even be like a divorce settlement, right? This could be some sort of like, Or if you were laid off from a job and your boss comes crawling back like, hey, so we want to bring you on board again for a few months. Like, it could be something like that, and you're just like, kind of like, bitch, please. Like, you dug your own grave, literally, right? With rising up from the dead. Soulmates, you guys collaborated well together. There was work that you guys, again, collaborated on. It was something about it was magic, or it took off, or, again, growth and potential. But yeah, something about this got wacky and messed up. All right, underlying energy for that is 9 of Swords. So you have 2 9s. Again, completions of major cycles. Right before the world, which is balance and harmony. It's all restored. Everything is good. There's freedom. There's liberation. There's like a newfound, it's like birthing a baby into the world, right? It's the new chapter. It's a blank page. It's a fresh start. Judgment. There's something that needs to, like, going back and dotting your I's and crossing your T's, or crossing your T's, dotting your I's. Going back to re-examine the loose ends that haven't been properly dealt with. They haven't been properly put into the bow, right? Same with this, 2 9s, you're so close to getting rid of this anxiety, this depression, this lost in your thoughts, essentially, right? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, it is a Gemini card. You're losing sleep at night because of this, but to be honest, guys, I think this is your person. Your person knows that they screwed up, but it was unintentional. It's like they didn't mean to, or they acted in haste. They did something in the heat of the moment, and boy, do they regret it. Or they show some sort of remorse, but mostly it's because they don't know how to fix it with you. How I was saying, there was something magic that could grow between you. It's like they want this friendship to blossom and grow, and something like fruit on the vine. It could be very lush and abundant and beautiful, but they know that you've blocked them out. This is like being in your own mental prison. This person, again, it's like they dug their own grave. They did it to themselves. But it's like they're crawling back, you know, metaphorically on hands and knees, just like, hey, Aquarius, like, how's it going? And again, you guys are standing very firm in your ground about, you're sort of unshakable. Like, no, like, what's done is done. Now, this is coming up for a reason, right? I mean, it's coming up as your challenge or focus. So ultimately, it's your life, Aquarius. How do you want to proceed with this person or with this situation? But if this message is resonating, it's being highlighted for a reason. Something needs your attention from the past. It's calling you back for a reason to deal with this, and at minimum, close it out in a harmonious way. If you don't want to reconcile with this person, if you don't want to work with them ever again, though some of you might, that's sort of where this is leaning. There's a way to close it out in a classy way where it's almost like asking you to raise your vibration and be the bigger person, and at minimum allow this person some sort of closure so that these thoughts aren't constantly eating away at them. Like, this person is suffering. They're kind of in pain. I do want to put it out there, because I think they feel really guilty or remorseful about the position they put you in, or the company, or the money they lost on that major deal. I am sort of getting from this, you need to make it okay for them. And it's not, I want to be very clear, it is not in a way that is, what is the word? It's not advocating their actions. It's not justifying what they did. That's the word I was looking for. You're not giving justification to their actions. It's not about that. Again, it's about rising up and being the bigger person and being like, listen, we both know what happened and it sucks and I'm not happy about it, but it's almost like I forgive you. And here's the thing. It's so that you don't have to carry the burdens of that relationship that may be weighing heavily on you, of just unsettled feelings, unjust actions. It's going to give them peace of mind so that they can move on and not feel like, it's sort of like you're both on the defense. You both know that there's something that needs to be said or something that needs to be closed out properly. You're defensive and like, this person is scared, but it's like you both need the sanity back. You need to close out the cycle so that you're not on the defense. I think in this case, it's like if you're the wounded warrior, it's like your defenses are up because you're You're worried you're going to get hurt again, or someone's going to take advantage of you, or like screw you over, stab you in the back, whatever that means to you. It's like your defenses are up, and it's like clouding your judgment, Aquarius. That's what's really important. Something about this relationship, the waters got muckied, and so I think you're not thinking with clarity. And again, revisiting this situation, however you wish to proceed forward with it, by revisiting it and somehow making it right, whatever that means to you, it's going to open up both of your worlds, for better or worse, right? Whether you want to collaborate or not, revisit this and make it right. That's just what's coming through here. And it's going to be your challenge, right? But you both are so close to being able to move on from this. It just needs one final phone call. It needs one final meetup. You know what I mean? It needs one final analysis. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. You need to go in and speak your mind. You don't need to sugarcoat it. And here's the thing. If you don't forgive this person, don't say that, right? Again, your authentic truth is what the universe is asking you to do. So I will say this. If you're not ready to have this conversation yet, if you're not ready to revisit it with a higher vibration, if there's still a lot of resentment and jealousy and bitter feelings, it's not time to revisit this then, right? But it is saying, if you're hoping to Mario Kart, move on to the next level, there is some sort of battle that needs to be won here. There's some sort of victory to be gained by going back and making this right, by restoring the solid foundation, right? It's almost like stripping it down to the basics of when it was innocent, when it was easy, before there was a distance or a gap in the relationship. It's like bringing it back to what used to be. I hope that lands for some of you. You might be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or a Scorpio. It doesn't have to be. What is the help available to my Aquarians? Interesting, the afterlife. So Gemini got this as well. This is a very, very unique card, guys. It doesn't really exist in other tarot decks. It's specific to Bohemian Animal Tarot, and I actually kind of love it. So we think of the world is closing out a major cycle, and then traditionally you move on to the Fool. In this deck, it goes from the world to the universe. So not just like our planet, like the solar systems, the overriding like bodies in the solar system, essentially, like to infinity and beyond. This is even after that. This is like a whole other life cycle. And interestingly enough, because it's coming up with this whole like ancient Egyptian theme, this is like, again, this is very big thinking. So you guys may or may not be on board with this, only take it if it resonates. This is like writing pasts of wrongdoings in other lifetimes. It's like karmic justice. That's sort of what's coming through here. It's almost like repairing relationships that were at odds in other lifetimes is bringing in karmic justice by doing right in this lifetime. And I sense that this is like really difficult for you. I'll be honest, I feel like most of my Aquarians aren't excited to hear this. It's something you're sticking to your guns. You're firm in your convictions of not wanting to bow down to this person. And it's really not that, but again, that's the lens you're looking at it. It's almost like by going back to this person who did you dirty, who did you wrong, you see it as weakness of character, but it's not. It's the complete opposite. It's like, again, being the bigger person, raising your vibration to essentially offer, I don't know if it's offer an apology or forgiveness to repair the relationship, but it's like, I'll forgive but not forget. That's sort of what this is. It's like universe is asking you to wipe the slate clean. And I know this sounds kind of weird, but it's like, it's not just for you and this person. It's like for your ancestors. And again, it's a bizarre message. I'm just relaying it as the cards are coming through. It's like something about this relationship. It was meant to stand the test of time. I mean, the soulmate card came out for a reason, right? Maybe you were soulmates in another lifetime. So whether or not you want to break bread with this person again and, have it be sunshine and rainbows, it doesn't have to be that. It's just saying make it right. I would not be surprised if we got the Justice card. We'll see. So the underlying energy for this afterlife card, and you know what? It's also saying in a much smaller window, there is an afterlife to what you thought was a dead relationship. Something that you thought was dead and buried it's not, it's rising up from the dead. There will be an afterlife, especially if this is a business partnership. This is just saying to me that you guys were destined to work together. I'm just reading it as it is. After a period of rest, after a period of, how I was saying, it doesn't feel like some of you are ready for this. That's what this card is acknowledging. There was meant to be a severing and a split here, because maybe you guys needed to go off and do your own thing, grow into your own people. Maybe there was some sort of like codependency issue, right? It could have been something like that. By branching out and doing something individually, it brought you back together, or something is kind of pushing you guys back together after this period of rest. And it was destined in the sense that you were meant to collect your thoughts. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, sword energy. This is about resting our mind. It's frequently shown as someone in bed or resting, or yoga, meditation type, bringing calm and peace to your mind so that you're no longer like angry and resentful, right? It's like you have a very peaceful aura and energy about you. So the history of this card, right? It's kind of cool. It's typically shown as a soldier who comes back to lay in the coffin that was meant for him had he not survived the war, the battle, right? So he lies in the coffin that he, in theory, could have died in or could have been put to rest in, but he wasn't. He didn't die. He survived the battle. And it's something about allowing yourself the peace of mind, knowing that it's like a second chance, right? You could have died. This relationship could have died, but it didn't. There's a period where rest is needed to collect your thoughts, but ultimately that soldier, right, after he's rested and gathered his strength, right, his strength of mind, he's going to grab that sword off the wall and he's going to go out and fight another battle. It's like you guys aren't done fighting this battle together, and I don't mean between the two of you. It's like you guys are, I'm just getting kind of like this tag team dynamic of something that you do in partnership or in unison. You guys are meant to go out and give it one last try. Maybe I'm almost getting like planes, trains, and automobiles. Maybe you guys are off on the road together and you drive each other absolutely nuts, but there's something about whatever, I don't know, maybe you're selling things door to door or whatever. When the two of you are together, there is some sort of spark. There's some sort of magic. It's like soulmates in a sense, you know, however you take that to mean. Interesting. So yeah, after a period of rest, it's like what you thought was dead and buried comes back. And okay, so something about that does sort of speak to the spiritual sense. Oh gosh, this is such a bizarre message, but for those of you who lost a business partner, or it could be a friend, whatever, as in they did pass away, they did die, there could have been some sort of, so this is a flip-flop. You felt guilty because it's almost like I should have been the one to go, or it should have been me. Even if it's not death, it could have been some severe, like there was a car accident, right? And now they're crippled, or you know, they're in a wheelchair. It could be something very severe, but it doesn't have to be death. There's some sort of, again, wedge in the relationship and feelings that were never discussed, or again, tied up in a bow to make it right. Something about spirit or the divine is calling you to make it right. So whether this person is still like in the 3D alive on this earth, or whether they have passed on, there is still a need for something to be reconciled, something to be like laid to rest properly. Some of you may finally be going to like scatter the ashes of a loved one if you've been like holding them and keeping them because you weren't ready to make that final step. Yeah, that's like a very specific and kind of random message, but that came out for somebody there. All right, and let's do, yeah, so the help available to you is take your time. Don't rush into this. There is a period of rest, a period of waiting for a reason, and it's to get your head right. It's to get your head straight and in order, right? Some of you may literally be going to therapy or some sort of counseling, and it may have to do with taming your anger. I'm sorry, guys, don't shoot the messenger. Or properly learning to deal with upsets and you know, feelings or a temper or something. That's not for everybody, but again, came through for someone. So what is your advice or guidance? The solitary, yeah, okay. So singlehood, the one, right? As I was saying, you were meant to go off on your own, and this is a card of soul searching, right? He carries his lantern, and ultimately what is in that lantern is the star of hope that is shown on the star card, which is you guys, right? So it's like you're on your way towards something bigger, but as I was saying, you're being asked to be the bigger person, to raise your vibe, literally ascend up these like stone steps. You're building something much greater than you realize, and this can also be a card of legacy. I said the same thing to Gemini. You guys may create something together that not only like stands the test of time, for generations to come, they may use it, or you may make history, right? And I mean, I don't mean to be a hype man. I'm not saying you're gonna win the lottery, this and that, but if this card is coming up, it's so unique and individual to this deck. And I mean, you guys are Aquarius, right? Like the innovative, unique thinkers. You may have some like kind of revolutionary idea that again, it makes the history books. It's remembered for generations to come. Again, generations, legacy, history, past lifetimes, future lifetimes. There's something very big here, and whatever this wedge is, it needs to be fixed or made peace with in some capacity. Utilize this time on your own to really get your ducks in a row, to get things in order, specifically your mind, right? Again, soul searching, it's internal work that needs to be done. And it's like once you've achieved some sort of, it's like a recognition of yourself and where you want to move forward or how you want to move forward with your life, with your career, with your partnerships, with your husband, with your wife, whatever. Then it's like you enter a new cycle. After 9 comes 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So again, there's potential for money to be made here. If you're in some type of cycle where money has stopped, cash flow is just not there. And I'll be honest, I sense that. There's no pentacles here and there's no cups. Both of those are key indicators in a money spread that money is good. So a lot of my Aquarians struggling with money right now, I'm telling you, this is the key. It's like, and the key is frequently shown in the Hermit. It's like internal knowledge is like the key that unlocks doors to knowledge, to the future, whatever. There is something to be repaired here, and like metaphorically, a key will appear, and it's going to usher you into a new cycle where I think money flow will be better. Fortune, fate, luck, destiny. The Wheel of Fortune is coming, but you're being asked and like guided to go through this journey. There's some sort of answer that needs to be found, some sort of clarity or truth that the universe is ultimately leading you towards, right? And judgment. It's saying go back and cross your T's and dot your I's. That's coming up for a reason. Probably with the person you least want to do that with. This could be a parent-child relationship, right? Whoever you have bad blood with, you need to bring peace to the situation. All right, Ace of Wands. Yeah, a new beginning. So this can be rekindling the spark of a relationship, of a friendship. Again, huge opportunity for growth. And this is sometimes the magic wand too. As I was saying, there's something when the two of you come together, you make magic. That's not going to be for everybody. But again, if it's like your money is like, it's not in flux, it's not in flow. It's like it's constipated. Something about like raising your vibration and putting out good energy and good vibes and light work out into the world, there's going to be a twist of fate or a turning into the next cycle, a changing of the tides, and it's going to allow like magic back in, energy, passion, motivation. Wands can be our career, right? The work and like the excitement. I think that's what this is. Like the excitement has been lost because somebody is like, and he's literally holding a key, by the way, right? We use that metaphor. Something about a key might be important, like key to your old business, key to someone's old apartment. A key might hold some sort of significance, but are you having fun? Is there fun in what you're doing anymore? Because maybe that's why money hasn't been good, if that is the case. Where's your passion? Where's your zest? Where's your fire, right? That's sort of what this is asking you. And okay, here's the thing. It's almost like if you've been on this soul searching path for a while, you've been off in hermit mode, right? That doesn't mean you have to be single, but essentially kind of going at it on your own. if you feel like in metaphor, your lantern is dimming, what's going to bring the spark back, what's going to bring the light back is that person you've done magic with, that person who literally has like not literally, metaphorically has like that, a match, right? To light the spark. That's what this looks like. It's a match, and it can, this is cheesy, but it is what it is, guys. Like it's going to light your lantern. Something about the collaboration, again, whether you choose to be in a long-term collaboration with this person or not, it's going to bring light and clarity to some sort of situation, and it's going to usher in that new cycle, the Wheel of Fortune. And we're in Scorpio season, right? It makes sense. Getting rid of things we don't need, re-examining what needs to be fixed so we can close things out properly and move on to the next cycle. If you are so tired of being in this state, this stagnancy, this no movement, no money flow, this is the key. This is the key to unlocking something new. And it doesn't mean you have to be something you're not, that you have to fake a relationship. Again, authentic truth is what's going to be here. Maybe you just need to get real with someone. Maybe you have been sugarcoating it, and that's the problem. Maybe that's the wedge of why you guys aren't communicating properly. Stand in your truth, but and just repair the foundation, a solid foundation from which you can build upon, from which something can grow. All right, let's throw some oracle cards on this. It's something about like your true path oracle, or I always forget the name of it. For Aquarius, what wants to come out for Aquarius? All right. Justice. Your career brings fairness and protection to others who need help. We said something about justice earlier, did we not? You might be dealing with a Libra. It's possible. Light and love. Your purpose is to bring divine healing, light, and love to this world. Yeah, and there was lots of metaphor with light, the star, the lantern. You are the star. It's almost like you are going to be the one to bring hope and healing to this person who, it's like they screwed up, guys. They probably did. That's what I'm sensing from this. Again, if you can raise your vibration to be the bigger person and bring justice to the situation, right the wrongs, not only in this lifetime, it's like you're making up for karmic justice of the past. That's what we were saying. You're going to restore peace and harmony and balance. And what couldn't grow and take off before, it will. It's a brand new start. It's a new beginning. It's like a second chance at life, if you will. And we use that metaphor with like the soldier in his coffin, right? It's time to like wake the dead and tie up the loose ends so that we can open up our worlds, right? Restore peace and balance and harmony. That's what I got for you guys. I know some of you are like, but what about the money? I'm telling you, there's not a lot of pentacles and cups here. So yeah, something about the internal work needs to be done first before you're going to see like the influx of money. This is like about fixing relationships that are like, again, constipating you in maybe many avenues in life. There isn't a lot of money flow here this month. So like, let's get this in order, and then hopefully that's going to come. 9, the solitary to the Wheel of Fortune. 10, that's when money's going to start coming in. So that's what I got for you guys. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.